Hi, welcome to the quiz. You can answer along on quizalto.com, all for free. The exact URL of this quiz will be in the notes down below. Let's get started. Good luck. Why would an organization use AWS Service Catalog? To reduce costs for on-demand services. To improve server response time. To enforce compliance and governance policies. To increase network bandwidth. Organizations use AWS Service Catalog to enforce compliance and governance policies by providing access to pre-approved IT services. What is the purpose of tagging resources in AWS Service Catalog? To monitor network latency within the catalog. To restrict access to resources in the service catalog. To enable better cost allocation and resource management across the organization. To automatically provision resources based on tags. Tagging resources in AWS Service Catalog helps organizations allocate costs effectively and manage resources by providing visibility and control over resource usage and attribution. How does AWS Service Catalog help organizations with compliance? By optimizing database queries. By automatically scaling applications based on traffic patterns. By enforcing governance through product constraints and portfolio sharing. By monitoring disk usage on EC2 instances. AWS Service Catalog helps organizations with compliance by enforcing governance through product constraints and portfolio sharing, ensuring resources are provisioned in line with organizational policies and regulatory requirements. What is the purpose of a service catalog in AWS? To monitor network traffic. To authenticate users for AWS services. To automate server provisioning. To create and manage catalogs of IT services. The purpose of a service catalog in AWS is to create and manage catalogs of IT services, allowing organizations to centrally manage and govern cloud services. What is a tag option in AWS Service Catalog? A cloud security service. A performance monitoring tool. A load balancer. A tag you can apply to a product to control its use. A tag option in AWS Service Catalog is a tag that you can apply to a product to control its use, such as specifying allowed instance types or regions. What is a service catalog portfolio in AWS? A list of monitoring tools. A group of security policies. A collection of IT services. A set of network configurations. A service catalog portfolio in AWS is a collection of IT services that can be made available to users based on their permissions. What is the purpose of portfolios in an AWS service catalog? To store billing information. To configure network address translation. To group products and share them with users. To perform vulnerability scans on instances. Portfolios in an AWS Service Catalog are used to group products and share them with users, providing a way to organize and present IT services to different groups within an organization. What role does the Service Catalog Administrator play in AWS? To manage service provisioning and permissions. To monitor resource usage. To optimize load balancing. To develop software applications. The Service Catalog Administrator in AWS is responsible for managing service provisioning and permissions for users within the organization. What is an AWS Service Catalog end-user role? A role that oversees the management of AWS resources in the catalog. A role that focuses on cost optimization within the service catalog. A role that manages network configurations within the catalog. A role that allows users to launch, stop, or terminate provisioned products. An AWS Service Catalog end-user role allows users to launch, stop, or terminate provisioned products according to their access permissions, facilitating self-service provisioning. What is a constraint in AWS Service Catalog? An API endpoint. A serverless function. A rule that limits how a product can be used. A pricing model. A constraint in AWS Service Catalog is a rule that limits how a product can be used, ensuring compliance with organizational policies and regulatory requirements. What is a product in AWS Service Catalog? A content delivery network. An IT service that can be fired up, configured, and used without requiring provisioning or management. A virtual private server. An on-premises storage solution. A product in AWS Service Catalog is an IT service that can be fired up, configured, and used by end users without requiring manual provisioning or management. What is the significance of role-based access control in AWS Service Catalog? It optimizes database queries. It manages infrastructure backups. It automatically scales resources based on traffic patterns. It restricts user access to products based on their assigned roles. Role-based access control in AWS Service Catalog restricts user access to products based on their assigned roles, ensuring that only authorized users can request and deploy resources. What is the role of the AWS Service Catalog end user? To automate CloudFront distributions. To request and manage AWS resources through the Service Catalog. To configure security groups in EC2. To manage IAM policies. The AWS Service Catalog end user is responsible for requesting and managing AWS resources through the Service Catalog, following the approved products and configurations. What is a tag option in AWS Service Catalog? A security group in EC2. A configuration that customers can apply to provision products. An alert triggered by CloudWatch. A performance metric for S3 buckets. A tag option in AWS Service Catalog is a configuration that customers can apply to provisioned products to add additional metadata or control parameters. How does AWS Service Catalog integrate with AWS Identity and Access Management? By enabling cross-region replication. By optimizing database performance. By allowing administrators to control user access to products and portfolios. By automatically scaling EC2 instances. AWS Service Catalog integrates with AWS IAM by allowing administrators to control user access to products and portfolios through IAM policies and roles. How does AWS Service Catalog help in standardizing infrastructure deployment? By automatically scaling resources based on demand. By monitoring CPU utilization. By providing pre-approved templates and configurations. By offering free services to all users. AWS Service Catalog helps in standardizing infrastructure deployment by providing pre-approved templates and configurations that adhere to organizational policies and best practices. What role does AWS IAM play in AWS Service Catalog? AWS IAM policies control who can access and manage products in the Service Catalog. AWS IAM automatically provisions resources in the service catalog. AWS IAM provides monitoring capabilities for resources in the service catalog. AWS IAM allows direct billing for service catalog products. AWS identity and access management policies are used to control who can access and manage products within the AWS service catalog, ensuring proper security and access control. What is a portfolio in AWS service catalog? A fleet of EC2 instances. An IAM role. A security group. A collection of products. In AWS Service Catalog, a portfolio is a collection of products, each representing an AWS resource that can be provisioned. What is a portfolio in AWS Service Catalog? A collection of products and the configuration options for each. A security group in AWS. A storage class in S3. A type of EC2 instance. A portfolio in AWS Service Catalog is a collection of products along with the configuration options for each product. What role does the tag option play in the AWS Service Catalog? Defines tags that can be applied to provision products. Creates custom machine images. Automates load balancing configuration. Manages network security groups. The tag option in the AWS Service Catalog is used to define tags that can be applied to provision products, allowing for consistent resource categorization and control. What is the purpose of the service actions in an AWS Service Catalog? To set up a virtual private cloud. To create custom Amazon machine images. To manage cloud storage costs. To define the operations that users can perform on a product. Service actions in an AWS Service Catalog are used to define the operations that users can perform on a product, such as launch, terminate, or update the provisioned resources. What is the purpose of an AWS Service Catalog launch constraint? To export product configurations to external systems. To define the permissible values for configuration parameters during product launch. To terminate all resources in a product. To monitor resource utilization in a product. An AWS Service Catalog launch constraint is used to define the permissible values for configuration parameters during the launch of a product, ensuring that only valid settings are selected. What is the benefit of using AWS Service Catalog for developers? Access to unlimited storage space. Access to preconfigured resources and services. Access to real-time analytics tools. Access to advanced networking features. AWS Service Catalog provides developers with access to preconfigured resources and services, allowing them to quickly provision the necessary infrastructure for their applications. What is the role of a product in AWS Service Catalog? A database schema. A specific AWS resource or group of resources that users can request. An encryption method. A network protocol. A product in AWS Service Catalog represents a specific AWS resource or group of resources that users can request for provisioning. How can AWS Service Catalog help in cost management? By reducing network latency. By increasing cloud storage capacity. By automating database backups. By controlling access to only approved services. AWS Service Catalog helps in cost management by controlling access to only approved services, preventing unnecessary spending on unauthorized resources. And that's a wrap. Thanks to everyone who participated. Remember, you can answer along on quizalto.com, where you can keep track of your progress and find much more quizzes. We hope you had a fun and challenging time. Until next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more. Hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as we upload. Please leave a comment if you have any thoughts or suggestions, and if you think this video is worth sharing with someone who could benefit from it, please forward a link to them. See you next time. Thanks for watching.